Hello everyone, thanks to the power of the internet, I get to talk with you, and today we're going over possibly my favorite Keter unit, and with the explosion of its popularity and people going to the Dark States version, I wanted to shine light on the OG, Faded One of Time, Liael Amorta, who is quite possibly the best, and I almost won with this deck, minus the new support. I hate when I do that, give me a second. Minus her because she wasn't out yet, but she's better than what I was playing. But this unit, really fun, really cool. I wish it had a little bit more, but considering I almost won my constructed, and the only reason why I didn't is because I forgot to order my abilities correctly. Like, I was beating Blandmeyer back to back to back to back. It was great. But what does, Liael actually do? When it attacks, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, bind it, search your deck for the same card name, and call it a rear. So you get multi-attack for counterblast 1, pretty cool. And because it needed this ability for plot reasons, you can use it as a PG by still discarding a card, but moving 2 cards from your bind to the bottom of your deck. Pretty cool. Now this ride line, or at least this grade 2, is necessary, because it is one of the strongest cards ever. Player of the Beautiful Chords, Aglenia. Simple, when you ride Liael over, you choose any normal units from drop, put them in the bottom of the deck in any order, 3 or more, draw a card. Now many of you was like, oh yeah, I put back 5. My record's 14. Because I saw literally every single biscotti for my ride up, and then I got all 4 Cell Ganon, It was just perfect. Saragon, right here. Chef's kiss. I hate that he's such a good card. Honestly, I do. He's the whole reason Keter Pile is here, but, such a good card. Keeps you from decking out. Grade 1's whatever. It's basically normal unit, Rancor Chain. Soul Blast 1, draw 2, choose a normal unit from your hand, discard it. If not, discard 2 cards. Grade 0 doesn't matter, but I like Little Angel Lady. Or Lad. Whatever. Alright. Main deck, obviously, you're playing all Liael for not only Persona Ride, for that Divine skill, At the end of the battle, this attack, if your opponent's grade 3 or greater, choose one the same card name from drop and ride it as stand, but dry -1. Honestly, it should have just been ride it as stand, because it's only a one-time divine skill. So you should have at least gotten that. But it's also a PG, so in theory, you're actually playing 7. Alright. But this is actually a tech option I used. It comes up quite often, because you're counterblasting so much every single turn for your Vanguard's multi-attack. If this is boosted, if your damage zone has 3 or more face down, which is one of the coolest restrictions, put this unit into Soul and you countercharge 1. So obviously you're not going to be counterblasting to call multiple versions of her, but you can have 2 in the front row attack, in theory, and just throw them both into Soul to countercharge 2. This is just a good card. For those who don't know Biscotti, Counterblast or Energy Blast 3, draw a card if it's used for a Guardian or dropped, during the ride line. This card, Idris, the Sword Saint, is the linchpin of this deck. If you don't see him, you're most likely going to lose, sadly, because it's just so integral to the gameplay. During your turn, if you have a card name with him in bind, he's a 20k attacker. When he is bound by your Liael, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and your Vanguard gets 5k. Next, we have the newer card, Knight of Piercing Skies, Pernicia. I was originally running... who was I running? I was originally running her, Diana, because if another unit was placed, she was just 20k. Many of you are running full Keter Pile, where, this is someone else, possibly 30k. Scissors, lovely card. I don't like her. too expensive, not needed. I am running her because not only if my Vine Zone has something of her, so she's another target I can have just for a 15k attacker, when my Vanguard is with Liael is placed, I can Energy Blast 3, bind it, and draw a card, so I don't have to Counterblast for Liael's effect specifically, and it gets me card draw, which this deck kind of needs, but you don't want to run draw triggers, ironically. This card needs no introduction. It is ban-worthy for more than just Luard. If you have more rear guards, 5k. If you played in order, 5k. You retire it, look at top 2, choose 1, put it into hand, which is a draw, and put the rest on the bottom. Of course, your PGs, doesn't matter what you run. Elementary, Prime. I am running 3 Eula because it's just a 15k booster if it's behind Liael, but also for the fact you can Soul Blast 1, choose any card name from the units from your drop and put it to the bottom of your deck, and choose one of my units. It gets 5k, so it doesn't have to be my Vanguard, it could be a rear guard, could even be her. This is funny because if you're boosting even with a trigger, you can throw one from into the bottom of your deck. Just guaranteed. You don't really have a way to shuffle, but it's on the bottom of your deck now. Sadly, I'm playing 2 of these. I'm not the biggest fan, but if a unit was placed by the ability of your Vanguard with a Divine skill, at the end of the turn, this unit boosted, you retire, countercharge 1. But it does get power 5k, so it's a 13k booster too, so. Playing a small order package because it just says draw 2, and if you're going to play units anyway, this card has no downside at all. Many of you don't know this Blitz order, but it's mine as your country's foundation. You discard a card from hand, but you give something 5k, and then you guard with every single heal trigger from your drop. So, you know, in theory, it's really bad for you if all 4 are gone, but they're all 15k shields, so that's 65 guard for discard 1. So you've net 2'd yourself because you have to play it from hand, but still. That's quite the guard. Going through triggers, like I said, you don't want to play draw triggers. You pretty much can get the advantage off of this. Just these 2 working together. And of course you have your order. You're drawing enough cards as is, even though you want to see more. So you actually need more power behind your front row, which is why you have front, crit for that pressure, obviously 4 heals. I'm playing the yellow OT. I know, shocking, but that's because it draws me my cards for open field, because, you know, they're going to intercept, they're going to, if they clear their own field, it's nice. But more importantly, you blow up their field and guards, so it makes your smaller rears at least hit more often, and gets you just that advantage back. Let me go into a game real quickly, or just single player, just to show you a little bit how this deck is played. Alright, it doesn't really matter what we do, but we don't need this immediately. That, or this. We're going to keep the Scotty. I always show us going first, but 1, 2, 3, perfect. Deck shuffle. Draw phase. Just keep throwing normal units, you're going to see them regardless. Ride. That's basically much what you do on your first grade. They can swing. I recommend guarding early, just because you don't shuffle these things back, but you need to take a lot of damage for your gameplay, so you don't really want it early game, you want to save it for late game. Alright, that was their battle. Our turn again. We're obviously going to draw. Ditch Biscotti to draw. Perfect. Yep. Soul Blast out. Doesn't matter. Oh. It thought it was our opponent's turn, that would be why. Draw 1, draw 2. You got to get rid of something. It doesn't matter. You can keep the booster if you want and get rid of a persona. You got 2 in hand. It's going back in the deck anyway. Call some units. Bump, bump, bump. Early game rush. So battle, swing, swing, swing. I'm doing this in this order because this is really cool, because you will be placing your Vanguard. So you get that draw off of your energy if they don't attack into it or retire it. So that ends. This is the moment where you now just take damage, and why I like guarding early, because then they just ignore your rear guards. Let's just take 2, because now they're on their grade 2 turn. End phase. Ooh, this is really good. So we're going to get rid of, you know, Liael. We are going to ride Liael. We are going to throw 1, 2, 3, 4 onto the bottom of the deck. We are going to draw 1. We are going to blast 3, bind, draw 1. Happy days. We are going to counterblast 1, play order, draw 2, call 2. We're in a good position. So we are going to give these +5 power, because we did play an order, and most likely now have more things than our opponent. I'm just going to set that to a 15k attacker, +2, +5, because it's boosting Liael. Enter the battle phase. You're going to swing supported, because, oh no, retire. Look at top 2. We don't need Biscottis anymore, but we are lacking quite the offensive power, so we're actually going to bring her to hand. Throw that to the bottom. We're going to swing with Liael. We're going to counterblast 1, bind her. Look for another copy, cheating ourselves another attack. I wish we were pushed to 3, because then we could have cleared our field by getting rid of another version of her, but it's fine at this point. Sorry, deck shuffle. Our opponent can guard or whatever, it doesn't quite matter. Check 1, check 2. Okay, we're pretty set. Swing. Okay, cool. There is one thing I can actually do on this swing. Yeah. We are going to actually Soul Blast 1. To put Saragon on the bottom. Because we have one on field. And we can give this plus another 5k power. So 28. Hitting nice odd numbers. At the end of that attack, retire. Look at top 2. Obviously hands, because it's another PG/Persona ride. And that goes to the bottom of the deck. It's all depending on you, how you take this. So I just say, take a few. 1. Yeah, after that, assume you're doing it. I'm going to just drop 35k guard, just to see. Our turn. Perfect. Of course, we're going to start with the Persona ride. Cool. Fine. Whatever. Counterblast 1, because we need to draw 2. Sadly, we did not see the guy we want, but we do get to call these 2. Let's get some more countercharge going, so let's actually call him over there. We're going to activate Biscotti. because we can potentially get something good. Look at the top 3. Perfect. Look at the top, put the rest on the bottom deck of any order, so... Obviously, we want to bot deck that before that. Cool. Our battle phase is going to be a little bit jank, because we actually have to now use our grade 1 to get it off our divine skill, which I recommend doing. Just automatically just swinging it out. There's no reason to save this, because it's just kind of lackluster. If you really want in your deck building, you can actually run 1 Liael to get that divine skill going. But obviously, we want to start with this, just so we can Saragoon. Look at top 2. No, why are you coming so late? Because we have to play defensive, we got to bring that to hand, put that on the bottom of the deck. You're now going to swing with this, for a very good reason. Hey, if your unit was placed by your Vanguard's ability this turn, so you don't quite get this, but you will get this. Actually, what's your swing this? Because now genius idea. Okay. Because it has to be boosted. Never mind. I'm stupid. So, swing. At the end of this turn while it's boosted, I got 3 more face down, so you go into Soul. Countercharge 1. So now when we swing with this, I wish I had more energy, but it's whatever. I can counterblast for the cost. Bump. Call off of that. Damn. Sadly, this is why Idris is so important, because it's just a guaranteed Soul Blast, because right now I don't actually have anything I can Soul Blast to get me where I need to be by Soul Blasting out my Persona. So that's fine. We'll just Divine Skill next turn. It's not the worst thing in the world. If they no guarded that, obviously crit here, but we're going to say they did, so power crit here. Counterblast for that. We're not doing another counterblast, obviously, for her search, so just swing. And now, obviously, you have all, all this open. So, we're going to just say we guard. I'm going to guard with PG just to guarantee it down there. We're going to look right here. Bot deck these for cost. Yeah. And let's get rid of the heal triggers, just because we got the Blitz in hand, so we have that all set up. Alright, end of their turn. Oh, so good. We didn't even have to use that PG effect. So we're going to Persona Ride again, doesn't matter. We're going to place Idris. Our boy is finally here. Move to battle. Swing. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. Swing. Counterblast. Bind. We finally have him going, showing why he's so important. We're gonna call. This one gets power. Now we Soul Blast. We can Soul Blast literally anything. You can, because it's really funny, get another Persona Ride if you want to Soul Blast too, because there's already one in drop though, so it's not that big of a deal. So we're just going to throw that to drop, give our opponent, well, our Vanguard 5k, but we draw a card. Shield value, alright. Check 1, check 2. Once again, if they don't guard, this is only going to be 33, so you can give the power over here. Reason is because you can countercharge. So power plus 5k. Hit. Oh, look, at the end of the battle, this boosted. Retire. Countercharge 1. Because Divine skill, you have to do it after the attack, so I just got a little ahead of myself to show. We're gonna ride as stand. Pretty cool. So we get a swing 40 crit 2 again. Hey, we're gonna swing, counterblast. Look 15, just to see if we can't find another one in top 15. Call, power plus again. No, we only get one jack. Cool, swing 30. If we wanted to, we could have soul blasted out another one and drawn that, so what would our drive check have been? Alright, cool. You probably would have done that just to have made this actually 28. Doesn't matter what you actually soul blasted at this point. So let's just get out a normal unit. And that's kind of the gameplay of Liael. You just always have so much guard. You just really don't do anything. But the deck's honestly really overlooked. And this is what I recommend. Obviously, there can be room for more improvement. But, hey. While no one's paying attention, just go dominate with it. Just never die. But if you made it past my ramblings or have any questions, please let me know. And thank you for making it this far.